evening. It is Monday night, and I am Scott. For better or for worse, probably the latter.
And I'm Davion Bussey.
Yes.
And I'm Robert Manning.
There we go. Okay. Waiting on the intro there, feel a little bit of a wait there, but that's okay. Anyway, this is
because normally Scott introduces me. I don't.
And then Dave jumped in, and I'm like, you know what? Let's see if Robert jumps in also. So good job on that, gentlemen.
Yeah, sorry.
No, dude, that was awesome. Please do that. So yeah, a lot of movies on the horizon. It is coming up on July in just about a little under 4 hours at this point. So we will be discussing the movies that are on tap right now. July will see the 7th Jurassic World movie, something I have called Jurassic World Regurg, because regurg is a medical term for regurgitation, vomiting, and things like that. And after 7 now movies of Jurassic World, you're pretty much vomiting up the last 6. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about what's that?
Don't underestimate the power of the dinosaur.
We're going to talk about whether or not this is actually going to be a success at the box office or not.
Yeah.
But also in the heels of Superman, Fantastic Four, we got another Smurfs movie because sure, why not? Sure, why not? We'll talk a little bit about that. So anyway, in the meantime, gentlemen, how are you and how are you?
I am alive. I had a busy week.
Is this a Cotard? This isn't a Cotard syndrome thing where basically you think you're dead. I
should be.
I'm sorry. Can I say dead or should I say de-alived or unalived?
Unalived.
Unalived. Yeah. Sorry.
Censor unalived.
Assume room temperature.
Yes.
Yes.
The amount of running I have been doing, audience, is unlike any human being would ever do.
So how much running are you doing?
So let's say
are you running with the devil?
Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Running with the devil.
I have no idea, but I'm here. But
all right.
Tuesday I had an amazing time.
Good.
And Tuesday I dressed up in my suit. Come to find out, someone else was wearing the same outfit as me.
Were they cosplaying as you though?
No. Okay. It just happens to be that we have the same elegant taste.
Okay.
And that person is John Cena.
Oh, so you couldn't see him.
John Cena dressed as you?
Yeah, I couldn't see him, but I saw the suit.
All right.
There you go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I was at the premiere for Heads of State. I have to say the movie is really, really good. It's like a buddy action film with a lot of laughs. And I'm not going to expose too many details because it's coming out in July.
Yeah, we can talk
check
about
it out. You have to check it out on Amazon. It's going to be, I would say you will enjoy it. This was a great film. It was funny. It has a lot of action scenes where you're like, yo, this is crazy. But the idea and the imagination of this director, he has worked on a couple of films. I think he worked on Nobody.
Okay.
And some other films, but I will know him as from the movie Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
The movie was on point, like to the beginning and end. Idris Elba, keep getting his name tongue tied. Idris Elba played a good prime minister.
Mm-hmm.
And John Cena played a good president. And
I can almost see that in the future.
That could actually happen. Yeah.
With Mr. Beast as the vice president. Mr. Beast will be the vice president to John Cena.
Mm-hmm. Let's go! I second that motion.
And Kim Kardashian will be Secretary of State.
I do not second that.
Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj.
Okay, I'm okay more with that.
Wait, what? You okay with Nicki Minaj and Kim Kardashian as Secretary of State?
Yes.
Nicki Minaj will be there at the United Nations, basically just calling out some random country, being like, "You a stupid hoe, you a stupid hoe, you a hoe, you a hoe, you a stupid hoe."
And I met Nicki Minaj, and she's really short.
Yeah, I've heard that, like 5'1", yeah. So
I didn't realize that until I checked it out, and I was like, "Oh wow, I didn't know she was that
well,
short."
you were at the premiere for Mission Impossible 11D6. So I mean,
Yeah,
Tom Cruise is not exactly a tall individual either.
Is
yeah,
that
but huh?
I thought
What'd you say,
Tom
Rob?
Cruise was 6 foot, isn't he?
Nope. He is with some serious lifts. He is 6 foot. He
He
is,
is
I believe,
short.
I
about
wonder what
5'7", maybe
Alexa would tell
5'8".
me.
What's that?
I said I wonder what Alexa would say, but I thought he was 6 foot.
Well, it's funny because he was like 5'7" when he was married to Nicole Kidman. She was 6 foot. Still is 6 foot.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Right.
But yeah, so after that, on Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. So overall, check out Heads of State, ladies and gentlemen. I will say it's a roller coaster of a ride, and I think it's hitting Amazon on very soon, July 2nd.
Okay.
Perfect timing. So check it out, ladies.
He's so excited. All right, so basically that's going to go right up against another movie that's coming out on July 2nd.
But the difference is he just said that's going to be on streaming, not on theaters.
I know, but it's going to be funny because that was kind of my segue to what I had planned here.
My bad.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, I never got to say how I'm doing.
You didn't? Oh shit! I'm sorry, man. How you doing?
Day took over the show. No, I'm just kidding, Day. I'm doing great. Only 3 weeks until San Diego Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, 3 weeks from today, I will not be on the show because I leave on a
And in October, I'm not going to New York Comic Con unless I'm working it.
October, I may be in Kansas City. Not sure yet.
Oh, you'll only be 4.5 hours from me.
Well, in less than 2 months, I got Japan. I got Japan about 7 weeks or so.
Yep.
And then we might do Kansas City for October for this national swim competition. Not sure yet. So
cool.
Yeah. So.
But yeah. So we're excited. Only 3 more weeks.
Yes.
And till I go on I'm leaving on a jet plane.
My wife hates that song. She always feels really sad when she hears it.
Huh?
But, my wife always feels really sad when she hears that song.
Oh, I like that song.
Okay. But yeah, you're gonna be hanging. You're gonna be basically taking a flight and just staying an entire week with an old man.
Yes, with my grandpa, basically.
Chris, why don't you go and grab that thing with your mighty pan? Get over here.
And that old man but young soul is Mr. Jim Legendary Cummings, and we can't wait to see him. AKA Winnie the Pooh, Tigger 2, Darkwing Duck, Pete, everything else.
Nice.
Yeah. Take footage. We want footage.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I will take footage at appropriate.
Don't get in trouble, but you have carte blanche, Jackson. You already have the ability to edit and throw videos up there anyway.
Yeah.
Feel free to. No, not an issue.
Okay. Yeah. No, we will figure out what's appropriate and not appropriate and figure out, but yeah, I plan on getting content. I just got to figure out how to do that, but I will figure that out by 3 weeks.
Groovy, Daddy-o.
Okay.
And,
so, what were you going to say, Dave?
And on Thursday, just to let everybody know, I did work the NBA draft. So if you kind of saw a guy with a black hat and an all-black outfit, that was me.
Okay.
Okay.
So
sounds good.
Yes, Alonso Martinez is playing on Thursday in Arizona. So
that
email
leads us
came in from a fan. Anyway, what's up?
I was gonna say that leads us to our segment, Cash or Trash.
Yes. We have a busy July here, which actually I probably should pull up the phone because you were good enough to send over the budgets for all of these movies.
And I threw an extra one in.
So honestly, like I said, I've got my thoughts, but I figure let's start this off proper. Jurassic World Rebirth, or as I'm going to call it, Regurge. Because like I said,
can't wait until you eat those words.
I'll see my response for later because I'll wait till everybody put it out and I'll have my opinion.
So right now, the official production budget number on this is $180 million. Now, from what I have read through Screen Rant, that does not include marketing.
All right.
That is straight up 180 with that's 180 million, with even less advertising than Elio had. So, in this case here, Scarlett Johansson is taking over the mantle previously held by, I mean, we'll call it, Sam Neill / Jeff Goldblum, and then of course Chris Pratt.
Yes.
My question to you is, do you think this movie can work?
Yes.
Why?
Because people love dinosaurs. Kids love dinosaurs. And even though, yes, I understand this is the 7th one, this is going to be the new trilogy. They're going to make probably 2 more after this, and now it's going to be starting. It's basically a 3rd generation in a way, is how I look at it. And just with a different cast member. What are these? Are these the
budgets in the box office for the first 6 Jurassic Park movies?
Yeah. So the last one made $1 billion in box office.
Yeah, but also it dropped off by 600 million from the first one of the new trilogy.
Yeah, but still, I mean, each one, when we look at all 3 of those, they still made $1 billion. 1.6, 1.3, still $1 billion. I mean, I just seeing those numbers alone makes me think that this is going to be cash. Don't underestimate the power of the dinosaur fans. There's already. I think this movie is going to be a huge success, regardless of promotion on it. I mean,
do you think Scarlett Johansson can carry this?
Yeah, easily.
Day, you've been quiet.
I'll wait for you, Scott.
I don't know if she can carry it. I mean, based on her history of late, Black Widow did not do well. She's always been.
But that's not her fault. Sorry.
No,
she's always been a supporting character in most everything. In the entire MCU, she was always a supporting character. Black Widow, she was the lead. It didn't fly. Yes, I mean, obviously there was a lot of issues as far as COVID goes. I grant that. But I don't know if she has the lead potential here that people are going to go see Scarlett Johansson in this. If Chris Pratt makes a movie about farting, people will go see a movie about Chris Pratt farting. The first one was brand new. Nobody knew anything about that back in '93. That was huge. And like I said, before your time, Rob, so you have no idea how big that was at the time. But to be honest with you, I think if this budget ends up being, say, 300 million, I think this is going to fail.
I think it'll easily make $1 billion this summer.
Day, you heard mine. What do you think, man?
Okay, so
you can't dodge this forever, man.
No. So after knowing about Jurassic Park, even if I don't see this movie, because I know people that already saw this film, this film probably going to be cash. Based upon its dinosaurs. People love dinosaurs, like Rob said.
Yeah,
I think this would be a stepping stone for Scarlett Johansson. So I hope and pray she don't screw this up, because this will really put her on a map of being a lead. And I think she needs this to be a big hit. Besides just, okay, Scarlett Johansson, can she do it? Yes, she can.
Yeah, that's the thing here. This
I
is a
believe
major.
I believe she could do it. It's just that can she believe she can do it?
Who says she doesn't believe she can do it?
Because, I don't think Disney didn't do her right. That's the issue. Disney didn't do her right. And that's what I think Rob is basically referring to, because of the fact that they basically screwed a lot of things up with Black Widow.
And the Black Widow was a bomb in box office
because of Disney. Disney made
and the whole Disney Plus premiere thing, and they told Scarlett that the Black Widow movie was going to be in theaters and theaters only, and that was in her contract.
Right.
And then they pulled the stunt. Oh, pay $30 and watch it at home.
Right. So
and that definitely hurt the box office.
Yeah, because I believe by what you said, Rob, it makes absolutely a lot of sense. So, in my opinion, Jurassic World Rebirth, just because it's a redemption story to prove to Disney that y'all screwed up and you got to take responsibility, it will be cash.
What do you think the budget's going to land at to make that cash?
Well, didn't you say the budget's 180?
That's 180 before marketing.
But that's why we always say it has to make double, because that covers marketing usually, and that.
Yeah, but don't forget also the ticket sales are split with the theaters too. So you need to basically take that number of that 180 and you need to quadruple that number.
Well, I don't think we'll have a problem with this movie. I think we'll hit $1 billion. I know I said the same thing about Stitch, which Stitch is almost there. I do think that's funny how Stitch is it's not gonna hit $1 billion, but it is 10 million away from passing Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I've been hearing the number one thing I've been hearing all over my timeline is don't underestimate the power of the dinosaurs, because I've heard nothing but good reviews on this movie. So I'm not personally going to go watch this movie. But that's because I got to save my money for San Diego, and there's other movies coming out this month, which I know can affect this movie too, because you do have other movies coming out this month that not everybody just has money to go see.
Now, this movie being on 4th of July weekend, I think will help a lot.
That's another thing, and that's why I know this will automatically be cashed. Is 4th of July weekend, everybody always goes to the movies.
It's got a 5-day opening weekend.
That's a tradition. Is they'll see what the biggest movie, and then go to for the 4th of July. Besides seeing your fireworks, you go to theaters with your family.
Now the projection at this point, this is again the Screen Rant article. Let me throw this up instead. And it's realistic that Jurassic World Rebirth can come closer to the 125, 145 during the 5-day opening weekend, well said and done. Now they're saying here it needs to basically do 450 million.
Right.
I'm going to be daring, and I'm going to say it won't do it.
I can't wait to prove Scott wrong.
You often do in these cases. I'll give you that.
I will say I believe in Rob.
Yay! Because I also look at it this way. You're the only person, Scott, that I know personally that has said, oh, this is the 7th Jurassic Park. Other people are just seeing it as a new movie. It's because in a way it's the 7th, but in a way it's not the 7th. The only way it can make it a 7th is if they connect the worlds like how they did with Chris Evans crossing over, or not Chris Evans, sorry, Chris Pratt crossing over with the original cast, Jeff Goldblum. If they did that, if it's in the same universe, then yes, this is the 7th. But like I said, it's dinosaurs. As much as, and I don't even really want this to be cashed, because it is the 7th one, and I'm not really gonna go watch it. But I'm not underestimating the power of the dinosaurs. I think that's the huge seller there. Now, there's another movie we're about to talk about, and I want that to bomb, but that's not going to bomb because of our, not to get political, but what's going on in this world. So that's already been stated that movie's probably going to be really well, too.
Which one's that?
Superman.
Superman does all the things super people can.
Because of what's going on. One, there's a content creator by the name Soups, and he's does TikTok and all that, and he's a big content creator. He has already seen this movie. He was not allowed to give any spoilers, but one thing that made it where this movie is probably going to do good, or it's usually a sign, is normally when he does his reviews, he'll thank the people that created the movie if it's a bomb. If he didn't like the movie and it was generally not good, he thanks creators. He did not thank the creators for making this movie. So, and because of everything that's going on in this world right now, people like to throw their hopes on a character like Superman. And what backs up that is during Smallville. When Smallville first came out, that was during 9/11. Even the cast has said they're pretty sure that's what helped that movie become successful, because that came out. Smallville came out right after 9/11 happened. This one is flopping. Diminishing franchise returns. The early reviews are not good. It's gonna have Superman as competition.
I wonder if he means Jurassic World Rebirth.
Oh, I think Plus,
Yeah,
it's not
plus
gonna be.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know. They've always been child friendly to a certain degree.
Well, I mean, basically being eaten by dinosaurs has never been as gory as reality would situate it to be.
Right. It's not like they show blood and guts.
Exactly.
But thank you, Ryan, for your opinion.
And thank you, Ryan, for your Jurassic World review. Even though it disagrees with me, and you can go to hell.
Even though you agree with Scott, thank you for your review.
Yeah. I mean,
I've seen the trailers for this. I am not excited for this movie at all.
Super Duper Man.
Yeah, Super Duper Man. I am not. The only way, and I'll be honest, the only way I'm going to watch this is if they show up for free at San Diego Comic-Con and I can get in the booth. That's the only way I'll go see this movie. And I mean that. If they have a spot and I can get in, I'll go watch it for free. But I'm definitely not paying to see this in theaters.
Yeah, this is going to be a weird July because you have so many massive blockbusters.
The next one, we'll get Dave's opinion and stuff. The next one I'm very excited for, but I'm scared because I don't know.
Well, let's finish this one off first. I mean,
we're so I'm going to say, unfortunately, cash on this one.
Unfortunately, Cash, you're disappointed by this.
Yes.
Well, right now the budget you pulled was $225.
Yeah, there was a 225 to like 3 something, but James Gunn's like that budget's not true, so I don't know.
Which is, of course, what he would say. He'd never come out and,
Right, exactly. So it may be a 380 budget, but we're going to go with the 225 budget. So it has to make about 450 to 500 million in order to be cash. The thing about, again, I disagree, Rob. I am scooped for.
He's soup for soups.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's good. Here's the thing why it's going to be successful is because everybody in the world knows the name Superman. Unfortunately, Cash, yeah.
Boy, my talk on this, here's my thing. Here's the thing. If the Jurassic World does well, this won't. If Jurassic World does poorly, this will do okay. I don't think people are going to burn one run right after the other.
Right.
I don't know.
I think these guys are released too close together.
Well,
I'm going to say cash only because I said that Jurassic World wouldn't be that great. And people are interested to see what James Gunn he was able to pull to the table as a Superman movie. Granted, this is now the third Superman we have had in 20 years. Me and Halen were talking about this yesterday because we had Brandon Routh and then Henry Cavill and then now David Corenswet, which, God, that's a terrible name. And even if you want to go back a few years prior, you had Tom Welling. So you've had 4 different Supermen in 30 years. But I think because it's James Gunn, I think people are going to go for curiosity.
Which Superman did you just say?
What do you mean?
You said
Brandon Routh, Henry Cavill, Cornsweat.
We've had Tyler as well from the Superman and Lois show. That was really good.
I'm not counting that because I don't know. By that point, the CW stuff was kind of like on its way out anyway.
But why do you count that? But you don't count but you're counting Smallville. Because
Smallville was unique unto its own in an era where there wasn't superhero content.
Also, if you,
I can go back. Listen, if you want to go back a little further, we can say Dean Cain too.
Yeah,
Lois and Clark.
Yeah,
and
we could go way back and say Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, right now, if you want to stick to the last 20 years, and I'm cool with that, then you have 3 different Supermen in that time.
And that's why I said Tyler, because Tyler's portrayal on Superman and Clark is really good.
Yeah,
I understand you're discrediting it, but I would not discredit.
Dude, have you seen the ratings for that? The TV ratings for the CW guys, that was real.
But that's just me.
But I think with James Gunn at the helm, I think people are he's gonna ride a lot of the energy of Guardians of the Galaxy on this, and they're intrigued to see what he can bring to the table on the DC side as the new boss.
Okay, so pretty much my opinion, this is definitely going to be cash because number one, the way things are right now in the world. Number 2, it's been a long time since we had a Superman movie. And 3, because it's James Gunn.
Mm-hmm.
Those three things, because of the fact that everybody's anticipating to see this, whether it bombs or not, whether it's horrible or not, they trying to see where this is go.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, we're hoping that this kid does good as Superman and as Clark Kent. And there's a lot of questionable Easter eggs and what else? Oh, and probably end credit or mid credit things that they tie into the Batman.
Which, by the way, at this point, I'm definitely tired of the whole mid credit thing. I know you're expecting it at this point, but all it is, it's an ad for the next thing. Yeah. You're basically sitting there the rest of the movie to watch a commercial for the next one.
Right, but guess what? It works.
It does, yeah.
So I would definitely say Superman is going to be cash. I know I said Jurassic World Rebirth is going to be cash. I'm still sticking with it because I have a habit of going to the movies and seeing two movies at once.
Okay.
I love dinosaurs.
So what are we saying on this? All cash?
Cash.
Copy that. By the way, I want to point this out too, just because I have to. This is the ratings for season 4 of Superman and Lois. It was barely drawing 500,000 viewers.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Wait, what are we doing?
This is the new one. This wasn't the old one, right?
This is Superman and Lois on CW. And the numbers from last year. Superman is a dinosaur in his own respect. George Reeves
doesn't mean it wasn't good.
Oh, it might have been great. I'm not saying that. But the CW stuff, like I said, as a Superman goes, people are like, who?
But yeah. But I've met all the Supermans and they're really nice.
All the Supermen?
Superman. Besides, the only one I haven't met yet is Henry Calvin, and obviously the new one. But I've met all the
Tim Daly.
Yeah.
Where were you from Tim Daly?
Did I meet Tim Daly? Because he was at. Okay, I'll have to recheck on that because I know maybe he canceled. I think I was supposed to meet him, but I did meet George Newbern, which we did an interview with. Tyler, I've met. Dean Cain, I've met. And I think there's another Superman I met, but yeah. Actually, we'll talk about that after we do Cash or Trash. Did you see what I put in the chat by chance?
Yeah, I did. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can do that after Cash or Trash, but that sucks.
Copy that. All right. Now we're moving on to the next movie in the list. Are we excited by this one? Wait.
Is it the horror movie or is it the fantasy?
Well, that technically wasn't Superman. That was Steel. It was great though. Yeah. As many Shaq movies can be, Jersey represent on that one.
Yeah.
In that era where he had that, the rap album, and what was it, Shazam?
Yeah.
Yeah. You think Shaq got rich in L.A.? No, he got rich in college. Everyone knows that. But we're moving on to the next one right now. Are you ready for this, guys?
Yeah. I'm ready.
Smurfs.
Oh no.
We got another Smurfing movie.
Did you ever find a budget for this?
I did, yes. Okay,
because it didn't tell me a budget; it just told me what the other ones have made or have spent.
Fair. Yeah, this one, by the way, so Jurassic World comes out on July 2nd. Yes. Superman comes out July 11th. This one comes out on July 18th. Okay. And it has a budget between 60 and 70 million.
Oh, okay.
I feel it's doable because it's going to hit that 4 or 5 year old crowd.
Is it going worldwide?
I don't know, actually. Good. It had its world's premiere in Brussels. That makes sense because in this case, the Smurfs or Les Schroff is a French project or product. Right. So Europe definitely will be involved in something like this. So it could get international money.
Then cash.
Yeah, I think it's doable.
Yeah.
Les Schroff est très bien, in La France. So you feel it's going to be Le Cash?
Because there's another movie that comes that weekend, and you can drop your kids off at Smurfs, and you can go see this horror movie that comes out that same weekend.
We will talk about that one too, because yay, another reboot. Which, by the way, can I point out that 15 years ago, the first movie I ever did background work on was The Smurfs from 2010.
Wow.
You did?
Yep, the F.A. Schwartz stuff. My foot shows up in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we did overnights on that because the F.A. Schwartz had to be open at a specific time. It was non-union, barely made any bank on it. It was like 75 or 85 bucks for 10 back in the day. But
that's cool.
Yeah,
man, we need to do an episode about Scott and all the movies he's worked on.
You know, Halen did not realize it did America's Got Talent. So we're sitting there doing the live stream for the Gold Cup last night for, because it's Matt Freese and Alonso Martinez. We covered both those players for NYCFC, and they were on opposite sides, playing against each other. And I had mentioned something offhand about America's Got Talent. He's like, the hell are you talking about? I'm like, you didn't know I was on there? He's like, no.
I think
I want to hit that comment too in a second, but anyway.
Yeah, because I think the Smurfs movies, Scott can pull it up, but I think the Smurf movies have done pretty well on box office.
Yeah,
I mean, shoot, if they're spending $60 million, but like the other ones, they usually say their budget was about 120 to 140.
Yeah, the last one, the one from 2011, in this case, the Hank Azaria one, budget of 110, made 563.
Yeah.
So this, I think, is doable here. 60 to 70 million would mean even if you need 150, you can pull that off. I think, yeah, in this case, you're getting this weird break in the action where you don't have like all of these things going on at the same time. It's a really weird decision to pack all this stuff into 1 month, though.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they don't need to be big money makers. They just need to make profit to count on our system. So. Yeah. And again, I think because it's kid-based and it's far enough away from like Lilo and Stitch or even Minecraft, I think it can pull off something here.
And How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah. Yeah, on that note,
I think this movie's going to be cashy.
I don't know what End of Days made, although I was one of the few people in the theaters that saw that movie. That movie bombed though at the box office.
Oh wait, what did Day say? Day, did you say cash or trash on Smurfs?
I say cash.
Okay.
But I do have like one thing to say. Like, only reason I say cash is because it is a European premiere. The Europeans definitely going to basically come out and support. Mm-hmm. United States, yeah, I think like a good amount of us is definitely going to support. But I also think most of the audience is going to be Rihanna fans. That's going to support.
Yep, 100%.
So,
yeah, we got a couple more movies that we're going to handle in this case here.
Yep.
I know what you did last summer.
You did?
I don't know what. The budget's 15 to 20 million. That's an easy give.
Yeah, that's
easy. But my thought on this is I don't know anything about it. Is it a you guys can tell me better. Is it a reboot? Is it a sequel? Because Jennifer Love Hewitt was back in it.
It's a sequel.
It is a sequel. So it's a sequel. I still know it was the last one.
Based on the trailer that because it is funny for a kiddish app, which it's not really a kid's app anymore, but TikTok, the first thing that popped up on my For You page, or not For You page, but just in general when I opened up the app, was a trailer for this movie.
Mm-hmm. So
I was like, oh, okay. And I watched the trailer, and yeah, it's definitely a sequel to the original.
Okay. 20 million, I think, is honestly good enough because you're going to get people my age who remember the originals.
Right. Because it's not a reboot and it's a sequel. Yeah, I could see. It kind of gave me like Scream vibes based on the trailer, just like how the Scream franchise.
Well, that's what it basically was. It was just pretty much a Scream type of movie.
Yeah.
But not as goofy.
No.
Right.
No, they accidentally kill a person and decide to hide the evidence they did that.
Yes, and that's what happens in this trailer for this one. It's a hit and run. They hit somebody and ran. And it's like, I know what you did last summer.
Yeah.
And it could be someone among them.
So because it's only 20 million, I think that can easily.
It's an automatic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be an easy 40 million, and this will be good for your horror fans that want to see a horror film in July. You know, like I said, this comes out the same weekend as the Smurfs. Go drop your kids off at the Smurfs, and you can go watch I Know What You Did Last Summer, and it's a win-win.
Right. Actually, if anything, the 10-year-old kids want to watch the horror, and parents are like, I'm too old for this. I just want to watch something soft, relaxing.
Let me go watch the Smurfs. I want 5 tickets for my kid to go see.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll take tickets to the Smurfs. Smurfs.
Oh, that felt like me when I went to go see Lilo and Stitch. I went by myself.
Well, I mean, years ago when I saw the Powerpuff Girls movie in theaters, it was me and my buddy Dave.
Wait, which one?
The one from like 2001.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, there was one recently?
No, this was 25 years ago, but there was only 2 guys in that entire theater.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Let's see. They need more road dividers and traffic light. Yeah, really. Dude, listen, you know suburban, Bumblescum Jersey. There are places around here where there's just no lights on the sides at all.
Exactly.
You turn your headlights off, it's pitch black. And then you got to play that game where you dare yourself. It's like, do I do it? Okay, good. But so I think it's a safe bet.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Easy cash.
Sorry, I'm updating the cash or trash list, by the way.
Okay. Sorry, my brain's going 360 right now.
It's all right. So yeah, you spin me right round, baby, right round,
not the news I wanted to see while live stream.
Yeah, I understand that feeling. Someone messaged me last week. It's like, do you know this person? Yeah, kinda. They committed suicide last night. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, unalived themselves.
Oh,
yeah. They unalive themselves.
Yes.
But to be honest, the algorithm of YouTube's not going to catch it because we're
37 minutes in.
So it's not as strict as TikTok now. TikTok, if you were to say that, our stream would have probably been taken down right now.
Well, let's hope it doesn't.
Yay! This one I'm scared of.
This is the 5th movie of Fantastic Four in the last 31 years or so. Yeah. If you want to include that one from 94.
You're counting the 1994.
Supposedly, correct me if I'm wrong on this, and I'm pulling up your numbers right now. If my understanding is correct, they are legally required to do a new Fantastic Four movie every 10 years, or they lose the license for it.
No, well, I don't think that's the case now because Marvel owns it.
Okay.
That was a Fox deal. Fox doesn't own the X-Men or the Fantastic Four.
Because they come out every 10 years, if you've noticed that.
Well, true. But that was because, and I know what deal you're talking about. It's like Sony. Sony has to do a Spider-Man related project, like how we've gotten like Craven and da-da-da-da-da. They've had to make movies in order to keep the rights of that character. Well, now that's not the same thing with I'm actually excited for this movie because, and I know some people are like, oh, this is the 5th one. Well, it's the first one that Marvel's officially doing. And I know recently with Marvel's track record, it's not as peak as it was 15 years ago, when we got the Captain America movie, when we had all these movies like Captain America Civil War, but I really like what I've been seeing in the trailers. The only thing I didn't like about the new trailer is like how they were just like trying to push him to say his catchphrase. Like I think that was a little too much. It was like Johnny kept going, "Hey, do your catchphrase, do the say it's clobbering time," because he says that in the trailer. It's like, say it's clobbering time, and then he references a cartoon. So I don't know if in this universe they're referring to like something they shot, and then or if they're referring to the original cartoon, but it's like an Easter egg, hint. Because wasn't there a Fantastic Four cartoon back in like the 90s? There was
a few. There was one in the 90s. There was also one back in the 60s.
So maybe they're referring to that one because I know this is placed in the 60s, I think, this universe. is in the 60s.
The 90s one was good. I felt Iron Man was better back then. Also had a way better intro. Killer intro.
Right.
Copy that. Okay.
Rob is correct. It's a licensing issue, but that doesn't mean the Fox version might not be forgotten. Yeah. Yeah, we don't talk about the I like the early 2000 ones. Those first two that they did.
Stickless.
Even though they did Galactus wrong, and that's the one thing I'm excited about this movie.
Yeah.
The fact that we are getting a accurate version of Galactus makes me excited, to see someone that's very tall they haven't showed us the whole thing, but they showed us enough, and you can go to your movie theater and get the 17-inch head of Galactus for $80. Or the Herbie, which is the new robot, or he's not new, but the robot, who was that? Never mind. My brain's blanking. There's somebody that I didn't realize voiced the character that just did General Grievous from Star Wars. Matthew Woods, I think is his name. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's General Grievous's voice.
Would this mean John Krasinski comes back? Is my question.
Right.
Yes. This glorified cameo is like, hey, I'm John Krasinski.
And so, anyways, he's the voice of Herbie in this new thing, and it shocked me because somebody got their Herbie Funko Pop signed this weekend, and that's what told me. I was like, oh, so he's the voice of it.
So they got herpes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Herbie. It's the new robot, or I guess not new, but he's the robot. And there should be a really good post-credit scene that I think will bring people to theaters alone, because this is the last movie before we get Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I feel this will be cashed because it's 2 weeks away from Superman. So you got a little less crowded there. Yeah. Pedro Pascal, Pedro Pascal plays Pedro Pascal in every Pedro Pascal project. Right. But every Pedro Pascal project does, basically draws eyes.
And Joseph Quinn is now a name because of the Stranger Things series. His performance as Eddie, and you should see his lines.
His performance of Master of Puppets, yes.
But just how popular his character got, you should see how long his lines are at conventions. Oh wait,
now
Doomsday, and then it's Secret Wars.
There has been some talk that they have gone back and done reshoots on this because the original endings did not test well.
Yes, for the Fantastic Four.
Correct.
Yes, I did hear there was reshoots for this, and the only other thing that I know people have been seeing, which it is comic book accurate, but it's very ballsy that they chose to put it in the trailer, is Thing has a beard in the newest trailer.
Yeah. He
has a beard, which people are wondering if that means there's going to be a time jump, because they do have their kid. We get to finally see Franklin Richard, even if he is a baby. He's the most. It's interesting that we're going to get to finally see him, and he's one of the most strongest, I think, characters in the MCU, in Marvel Comics. Is Franklin Richard the son, if I'm not mistaken, or at least that's what I've heard. But yeah, but they're definitely going to have a kid, and they definitely show him. So, but yeah, sorry.
I just had a question. Is this the same universe as all the other MCU, or is it outside of its own design?
Well, what I think. Sorry. No, this is technically a different universe, but I think what happens, and people have been speculating, and then if you see the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts, basically in one of the trailers, it shows he's making this board of this equation, and people are wondering if that's a time jump because maybe the world's dying and stuff. But at the end credit scene of Thunderbolts, that's why Surfer's Herald. But anyway, But there was a post-credit scene at the end of Thunderbolt showing the Fantastic car, 4 car, popping into the universe of the 616 universe or whatever MCU universe. So we don't know what's on that ship, but the assumption is that it will be the Fantastic Four, because obviously the Fantastic Four are going to be in the Avengers Doomsday. So it'd be kind of weird not to have, and all their names were on the chairs when Marvel did that.
That's right, yeah.
That 5-hour live stream. Yes, Dave.
So from what my sources say, it is correct. It is Fantastic Four, but they're saying there's more additional people that's going to be on that spaceship. We don't know if it's Doctor Doom and
Well, Doctor Doom went on the ship with them also.
Yeah.
That was part of it as well, because there was actually 5 on there.
Well, no, what we're referring to is we don't know if they'll be on the ship coming back. It'll be Doom or stuff like that, which, I mean, it would make sense. So that's how he gets into our universe. If he snuck in.
So Robert Downey Jr. could make an appearance.
I don't know. I think that's going to be a post-credit scene. I don't think we're going to see Robert Downey Jr. At all in this movie. Not the space shuttle, but that might not be the same shuttle that. But yeah, we'll see.
I feel this movie will do cash again, based on everything I said.
Yeah.
Are people tired of Marvel movies? Yeah, they are.
There's
blood from a stone at this point, I feel, but I think there's enough for this to 600 or 700 million.
Oh, by the way, the Ironheart series is really good. The first 3 episodes are out, and I really enjoyed the first 3 episodes.
All right. I have heard it was definitely something you can watch.
I like a good drama, and I don't know. To me, they did a good job with based on the comics. They changed their story a little bit, but not too much.
All right.
Have you seen it, Dave, by chance?
No, I don't have Disney no more.
Well, but the one thing that I think is interesting, and I don't know if it's because Disney is like, I don't know if the only weird thing about this series is they released the first 3 episodes last week, and they're releasing the next 3 episodes next week. And why
they're trying to dump it and move on. That's why, because they filmed this 3 years ago.
Yes, they filmed. Yes,
and they're just trying to get it out and get it done.
Yeah.
So, but they did a good job. It basically follows up the events after the last the Wakanda Forever. Just that, they do a little recap because that's the last time you see her character, and so they wrap that up, and then you get to hear her origin story and stuff like that. And I like.
From my understanding, she's very whiny.
I don't know. I didn't get those vibes. I know. I don't want to give spoilers off on that because there are some things that happen that she like freaks out and. But it's the one what I like about her character is it's a slow burn, and it's saying more its story than people might think. This is an alternate Spider-Man story. This is like an alternate. I did think it's interesting that your hero has to do villainous things. That's the only thing I will say at the beginning of the series. Like she has to do some basically illegal stuff to be able to get cash to make her Iron Man suit and stuff like that, and her Tony Stark like suit.
Didn't Tony Stark build that thing in the middle of a desert?
Yes, but he also had all the stuff that he needed too.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, at this point I am so burned out on Marvel crap. I don't even care anymore.
Yeah. And with hers, it's different because what she needed money. It's not saying she needs money to build the suit. What she needed money was to build the AI that she uses in the suit. Like your Jarvis and your,
Can't use ChatGPT. You just pay $20 a month.
No, okay. They don't have ChatGPT. Never mind.
Like I said, for me, I am so past all the Marvel at this point. I pretty much ended at like Endgame.
I'm excited for the next 2 Avenger movies because they brought back the Russo brothers that have made.
That's fair. That is fair.
You know, because I didn't realize that the Russo brothers worked on Captain America: Civil War.
They did.
Yeah, and
it's where they cut their teeth.
And then it was because I've been listening to this podcast, and they just in the timeline they just watched Captain America: Civil War, and they mentioned the Russo brothers worked on that, and then they're like, Marvel just hired them to do all the next Avenger movies. Like I said, I'm back in 2016, so it's funny because those two Infinity War and Endgame were really good, and the fact that the Russo brothers are coming back and they're filming because they have the love and passion for the project, I think those two are going to be a big hit.
I think in this case, my take is that I think Disney and Marvel are just like desperate. Yeah. So they're like, here, let me give $61 million to Robert Downey Jr. Let me give the Russos, whatever we can give them, to try and get this back in because Star Wars hasn't worked. Thunderbolts hadn't worked. I mean, there's so many projects right now on the Disney side of things that are just not working. And they're trying to grasp at whatever straws they can find right now.
Yep.
I mean, eventually, I think, honestly, Disney could break apart. They're going to start selling some stuff off, I think, fairly soon.
I don't know.
But, they did that one good thing, but the thing about it is it's not, it's whoever's whoever's the CEO, whoever's the production manager, whoever's the person that, those are the people that's actually screwing up because they're telling people what audience is not asking for.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, you lose a lot of your core audience. Just make a product and make it interesting for everybody. Make it acceptable for everybody. Solely for one particular group of people.
Well, that I think, and also because their budgets are usually just so outrageous. I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi was expensive as hell. I mean, Acolyte was expensive as hell. This money is going somewhere, and it's not getting the returns that they want it to be. And as a result, that's part of the reason why Disney and Marvel, I think, are just struggling. I mean, yeah, honestly, they should sell some stuff off. I mean, Marvel did sell off Star Wars, or Lucasfilm, sell it back to somebody somewhere. I mean, I just want to point this out. Speaking of Disney, now when Robin and I are in Yokohama and Tokyo in August, we have debated actually going to Tokyo Disney. Now you can go and get from where we are in Yokohama. It's a 1-hour train ride. I'm going to use US dollars in this case. It's $5 each way for each one of us. So $20 round trip for the both of us to go to Disney.
Okay.
Once there, the most expensive day pass for each of us is $75 each. Disneyland at minimum is $101.
Right.
I think in this case here, Tokyo Disney, I think is popular because it's affordable. Disney World and Disney here in the U.S. is so mad expensive that I think, I'm sorry, Ryan, I didn't mean to bring this up, but, so
does that mean you're not going to, I think you should go to Disney Tokyo.
We're leaning towards Tokyo Disney. Also because I saw a video on this, one of the rides that they have Song of the South on display.
And one other interesting thing that's been said on the podcast, so I can say it. That's the one park Jim has not been invited to, even though there is a Winnie the Pooh ride over there.
Oh, what should I?
Jim has never been to the Tokyo Disney. That's the only theme park that has not invited him.
We've got a few things on the horizon for Japan. Some of the things I can talk about, some of the things I can't announce yet. Yeah. But we talked about Tokyo Disney yesterday, and right now we'll maybe make a day out of it and go. But for the most expensive, I mean, for us, it would be $175 total for the two of us round trip plus the most expensive day pass. Food, okay, fine, granted, but that's pretty freaking cheap when you think about it, man.
Right. Because I actually, so everybody knows I'm going to LA, next month, and
agreed.
And I looked at the price of what Disney would be for one person to go. And if I wanted to experience everything, I'm almost paying it was like $300.
Yeah,
Just
the
to
ticket
go
prices
one
are.
day.
Yeah, I know, but Japan is ridiculously inexpensive in so many ways anyway. But
Yeah,
the most
a lot of the other countries are a lot cheaper, especially on food and stuff like that. And
yeah, the food we only looked at like basically like the ramen place and even 7-Eleven, which actually is high quality. 7-Eleven over there is extremely high quality stuff, but that's another thing
you
entirely.
definitely got to get some content while you're out there.
Oh yeah, we'll get some content. I've got some stuff going on with a couple of the baseball team and the soccer team that's out there.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we got a few things in the pipeline, but yeah, I mean, I might just do Tokyo Disney because it's there.
And
I don't know.
And when's the next time you can say you did it?
Sonya Kotone. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a couple things we're gonna do. We're actually hitting the Cup Noodle Museum, by the way, in Yokohama.
Oh.
The history of Nissan Cup Noodle.
And you get to make your own cup noodle.
We do, apparently. I didn't know that. So,
yeah.
We're gonna probably also I think we're gonna hit something. In Tokyo, there's a capybara cafe. So we're gonna basically go and hang out with some capybaras there while we're at it.
Nice. I want to go to Tokyo one day for the Pokemon. They have a Pokemon theme.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
dude, I am jealous. This is like my dream trip, man. I am so far. It's 7 weeks, but 7 weeks are gonna feel like a year and a half for me.
Hey, trust me, that's how San Diego's been feeling for me.
Having been immersed in Japanese culture since I was 18, I've never gone. So This is a big deal on my side because, this is the chance to really connect with something that's been a big part of my life since 1994, really, 1992 if you really want to say it, but either way, 30 plus years. But
so Dave, did you say cash?
Yes.
Okay. So basically on that, to come back, thank you for that. Every single thing was cash all the way through, except one doofus for Jurassic World.
I'm not pointing no fingers.
Oh, I point fingers.
I'm not pointing no fingers.
It's funny when they say that whole thing where you point a finger at someone, 3 fingers are pointing back at you.
Yeah.
You point at yourself and 3 fingers are pointing that way.
Right.
See, this is why I'm pointing this way.
There you go. Yeah, I'll point like this, Make it sort of like a
Oh, you don't see it. Do you see it now, Rob?
What?
Oh, he's pointing at me, and that's nice. So
yeah.
But
you see that my other 3 fingers are pointing down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like basically, yeah. Yeah, let me point this way. God, I can never do this in reverse, man. I swear to God, I'm terrible at that. But okay, like I said, for cash or trash, the only trash of all of them in this one, for Superman, for Fantastic Four, Smurfs, I know we did last summer, and Jurassic World Rebirth, the only cash came from me on one. Wow.
No.
We almost had a clean sweep.
Wait. No, I thought you said cash for wait, you said Superman was gonna be trash?
No, I said Superman was gonna be cash, but
And you said Fantastic Four was gonna be trash?
No, I said cash on that one too.
No.
So that's 2 cash.
No, the only trash that I had was yeah.
You're saying if you would have said cash on the Jurassic Park, we would have all been in agreement for the first time.
We were all swept on cash.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my brain took it.
No, it's okay, dude. But yeah, no, in this case, one of these kids is not like the other.
And speaking of Rebirth and things of franchise that bring a bunch, by the way, there was news, I think it was yesterday, that in April of 2027, I think it is. I don't think it's 26. I think it's 27. That is when we are getting the last installment of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah.
And there is a character that's coming back, and I don't know if they're going to CGI or if they are going to use his brother. But Paul Walker's character will be in the last installment. He made an announcement. It said 3 things must happen, or that's going to happen. Paul Walker's character is being brought back. They are bringing it back to the streets. And I forgot what the third item was, but
Something about family, probably.
Yeah.
ironically, no, but it was I don't remember, but I do remember they want back the streets, like how it
That
originally.
makes sense. They want to go smaller with it because I mean,
they want to go back to the roots of it.
but see, here's the thing. Spoiler alert, by the way. Michelle Rodriguez's character is currently in Antarctica alongside Charlize Theron. So you got to get them out of Antarctica right now.
Unless you do a side story with them.
Well, technically, well, actually, you actually don't even. I mean, yes, they're in Antarctica, but they're just gonna say they were able to find a way back. They called up Happy or not Happy. Cause I think his character's not with us. But they'll call some Mr. Nobody or
Mr. Nobody, Kurt Russell.
But Kurt Russell's the other Liam Hemsworth's character.
Yeah,
Mr. It was like I don't know.
Mr. Thor's brother. Yeah, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
but I mean, here's the thing. I have been a big fan of this franchise ever since I started watching them. You know, and I think bringing back Paul Walker both makes sense and doesn't. And I understand why they're doing it. I'm not hating it. I don't hate it. You know,
they've been hinting it at every single movie ever since he has passed.
Since the last 3 movies, they've done honestly a very poor job with his character. Because every single time it's like, oh, Brian's off with the kid, or Brian, like, he can't do it. He has diarrhea, or he has to go to the post office, you know, or whatever reason he can't.
Or they do where they have showed him, like they show him, they technically brought the car.
It was
for
BS,
the last
man.
movie.
It was BS.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
You know, I mean, could they do something now where you do like a, Peter Cushing in Rogue One, but better? I think so. 9 years later, or 11 years later. But they're bringing back Gal Gadot's character. She's not dead. You know, this movie, this series actually has brought back to life 3 characters who have died.
And I hate to say this, but not even your actor that is dead can be dead.
The characters.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready to say it. I'm ready to say it.
Say it, Dave. What?
I don't know what that was, and I'm not sure if he just peed while he did that.
You all remember from the past, every time you say Liam Hemsworth, I always laugh.
Yes. Well, why is that, by the way? You witcher.
Yeah.
You got to do that. You got to do that one meme where it's like, "Fuck."
I'll do it. That's why I was like this throughout the whole
I never heard you swear in your life, man.
You never did?
Not that I can recall.
He's
either one of you guys. I swear enough for the both of you.
He's cussed on the stream before.
Has he?
Yeah. I think so.
But I mean, like, I kind of like the fact they're going smaller, but at the same time, I'm disappointed they're not like going deep into the ocean or like to Mars.
Yeah.
You know,
or with the dinosaurs.
Dude, why not? You know, he goes back in time, does 88 miles an hour. You know,
I still like the theory if they would have done 3 of part 10, if they would have did like 3. I always like, there was a theory that in the 3rd one it would be Vin Diesel, Dominic Toretto versus Triple X.
Mm-hmm. That could work.
Adam just fight himself.
And then basically he's got to fight the Iron Giant while he's at it.
Right, exactly. Just the multiverse of Vin Diesel's character.
And then you bring him into the MCU against Groot.
and don't forget the pacifier.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you know what? Let Rob have his minute, by the way.
We do have one last thing we need to talk about.
Yeah.
And that is the passing of the legendary person, Jim Shooter. Just passed away.
Who dat?
I wish I would have had more time to research. He's created a lot of different comic book characters. He's an editor on a lot of stuff. Like I had books of that I needed his autograph. Like he helped do, I think, the editor on like the Hulk versus Batman book. Mm-hmm. He was a big editor for Marvel for many years back in the 70s, 80s. Legendary person. When I asked I think he worked on some of the Legion of Superhero stuff. Because when I went, hey Alexa, what characters did Jim Shooter create?
Amazon.com. Shooter created several characters for the Legion of Superheroes, introduced Superman's villain the Parasite, and jointly devised the first race between the Flash and Superman.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he did that. If you guys remember the comic book, the where Flash races Superman, one of the bigger comics back in the 70s or /80s. He helped create that. He helped create Parasite. That's one of Superman's villains, and did some Legions of Superhero. And like I said, he was an editor and stuff, and well known in the industry. I was supposed to meet him last year at GalaxyCon, and he had to cancel last minute due to flights and stuff.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to. The plane people didn't want to accommodate with him because what you don't know about him, Alexa, how tall was Jim Shooter?
From celebhates.com. Jim was 5 feet 9 to
No,
5
that's
feet
not
9
right.
and a half.
Alexa, no, he's like 6'11" or 6'7". I know he's taller than me. But anyways, thank you, sir, for all your work that you've done. You will be missed. I wish I could have gave you more of an introduction than I just did. But that's that, and that popped up like 5 minutes after we were live. I got the notification from one of the YouTubers I follow, and he said, "Rip Jim Shooter." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I saw you posted that. Thank you.
And so, rest in peace to you, good sir. I know I say this now, it's like, but it should be on everybody's time feed probably tomorrow, by like tonight. It'll be all over, because he did have a big impact on the comic book industry. It just sucks when we lose the legends, even though they are so old. I get that, but your next legends that are still alive that are going to be, you got Chris Claremont, you got Roy Thomas that helped work on like Hulk 181 and stuff like that. So you still got some legendary creators still alive. Just sucks when we lose them.
Fair.
And I was hoping he'd be at San Diego Comic-Con, which can't happen now. But
in spirit only.
Yeah, because Frank Miller will be there. So yeah, so that's crazy. But yeah, so that's one thing. And I think I had one other. Hold on. Nope, never mind. I thought
one other thing you'll remember at 3 a.m. That's usually how it works.
Right? I'll be like, hey, I have something else though. But do we have anything else to talk about tonight?
Nah, I think we're okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right. On that note, Day.
On that note,
ladies and gentlemen, we are Tales from the Film Set, and we'd like to thank y'all for watching. And good night.
Oh, that was fucking lame, dude.
No,
that was the whole point.
You phoned that in any fucking more, man.
Damn it, I'm Robert, man.